Exciting news! Free agency is buzzing, and the Falcons are making some big moves that could change the game for the 2025 season. In this video, we'll dive into all the latest updates, so if you've been cheering for the Falcons for over 20 years, hit that like button and comment, "Falcons forever." Let's jump into some major signings. First up, KhaDarel Hodge is back in Atlanta. The Falcons have signed him to a 2-year contract worth $6 million, keeping one of their 3 Pro Bowl players from 2024 on the team. This is huge, not just for his skills as a receiver, but also for his amazing special teams play. Last season, Hodge made some unforgettable plays, like that incredible touchdown on a botched punt against the Saints and a key blocked punt against the Raiders, which earned him the title of NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Coach Raheem Morris praised Hodge's effort as unbelievable and called him a Pro Bowl-type talent. While Hodge may not have been the most targeted player on offense, he made every catch count. He had 7 receptions for 131 yards, including a thrilling 45-yard game-winning touchdown against Tampa Bay in Week 5. His return not only keeps a talented player on the field, but also ensures that the Falcons maintain one of their most respected leaders in the locker room, as well as a vital asset for special teams coordinator Marquise Williams. But that's not all. The Falcons are also making headlines by adding a powerful player to their defense. Meet Leonard Floyd, a Georgia native who just signed a 1-year deal worth up to $10 million. This signing comes at a perfect time, especially after Atlanta struggled with their pass rush last season. Let's face it, finishing 31st in sacks with only 31 is not good enough. That's where Floyd steps in. Falcons fans, this guy is a proven pass rusher. Floyd has been a reliable edge defender in the NFL, racking up at least 8 sacks in each of the last 5 seasons. He had a strong year with the 49ers, finishing with 8.5 sacks and 16 quarterback hits. With over 66.5 sacks in his 9-year career, he instantly becomes one of the most dangerous players on Atlanta's defense. What makes this signing even more exciting is the connection between Floyd and head coach Raheem Morris. They worked together in Los Angeles when Morris was with the Rams, and during that time, Floyd recorded an impressive 18.5 sacks over 2 seasons. Clearly, Morris knows how to bring out the best in him, and adding Floyd to the Falcons could be just what they need to strengthen their defense. It's also worth noting the timing of this move. Just as the Falcons released longtime defensive tackle Grady Jarrett, they brought in a veteran presence on the edge. While Floyd alone won't solve all of Atlanta's pass rushing problems, he's a fantastic start. The Falcons still need to add more pieces to their defensive line, but bringing in a player of Floyd's caliber is definitely a step in the right direction. So, what does all this mean for the Falcons as they look ahead? By re-signing KhaDarel Hodge, Atlanta is ensuring stability on special teams while keeping a dependable player on offense. On the other hand, bringing in Leonard Floyd directly addresses the defensive challenges the team faced last season. The Falcons still have more moves to make, but it's clear they are serious about competing in 2025. Now, I want to hear from you, Falcons fans. Are you excited about these signings? Do you think bringing back Hodge was the right choice? Will Floyd be the game changer the defense really needs? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's dive into some more changes happening with our Falcons. The defensive line is getting a makeover as the team reshapes its front. The Falcons have officially re-signed defensive tackle Taquan Graham to a 1-year deal, but they also lost Eddie Goldman, who is heading to the Washington Commanders on his own 1-year contract. This news just came in, and while we don't have all the details about the deals, one thing is clear: Atlanta's defensive front is changing. Now let's focus on Taquan Graham. The Falcons drafted him in the 5th round back in 2021, and over the past 4 seasons, he has played in 49 games, starting 16 of them. Statistically, he has recorded 84 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 13 quarterback hits. What really stands out is his performance in the 2022 season. Before suffering a torn MCL, Graham started 9 of 11 games and made 8 QB hits, showing he could be a disruptive force in the middle. Unfortunately, his 2024 season was cut short again due to a pectoral injury he suffered in Week 10 against the Saints. Despite this setback, head coach Raheem Morris praised him earlier in the season, saying Graham had been a nice contributor throughout the year. Now he's back on a 1-year deal, ready to prove himself once more. On the other hand, we say goodbye to Eddie Goldman. His time with the Falcons was a bit of a roller coaster. He joined the team in 2022, but retired before training camp. He tried again in 2023, but was placed on the exempt/left squad list without ever playing. Finally, in 2024, he made his Falcons debut, playing in all 17 games and starting 10 of them. While his stats weren't flashy, 16 tackles, 1 sack, and 3 QB hits, his role as a big-bodied run stuffer was important. Now he's off to Washington, and the Falcons will need to find another player to strengthen their interior defensive line. And speaking of losses, this one hits a little harder. Center Drew Dalman has officially signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Chicago Bears, which includes $28 million guaranteed. That's a significant contract for a player who has been one of the most dependable parts of the Falcons' offensive line. Losing Drew Dalman is a big blow, especially considering how it could affect quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Dalman had an outstanding season, ranking 4th out of 64 eligible centers with a solid 78.8 overall grade, according to Pro Football Focus. He excelled as a run blocker, coming in 5th in that category, and was also reliable in pass protection. His quickness and ability to reach the second level made him a perfect fit for the Falcons' offensive style. Now that he's heading to Chicago, Atlanta faces a significant gap at one of the most crucial positions on the field. Let's not forget that Penix Jr. isn't exactly known for his mobility. He suffered 2 torn ACLs during his college career, and while he has impressive arm talent, he's not the kind of quarterback who thrives under constant pressure. Losing Dalman means the Falcons need to find a replacement quickly if they want to give Penix the best chance to succeed in 2025. Let's be honest, it all starts in the trenches. You can have the most talented quarterback in the world, but without protection, it won't matter. Now let's shift our focus to another player who might not be in a Falcons uniform next season, safety Justin Simmons. This situation is still uncertain, but based on Simmons' own comments, it seems unlikely he'll be returning to Atlanta. So where does he want to go? The Philadelphia Eagles. Simmons recently appeared on the Talkin' Ball podcast and had some interesting things to say about Philly. He called their offense one of the most talented in the league and praised their defense for winning the Super Bowl last season. What really caught attention was his mention of Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio and defensive backs coach Christian Parker. Simmons played under both coaches in Denver, and he made it clear that reuniting with them in Philadelphia is a top priority for him. If you're the Falcons, this isn't the news you want to hear. Simmons was brought in last season on a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. While he wasn't the dominant playmaker he had been in Denver, he was still an important part of the defense. The Falcons had high hopes that he and edge rusher Matthew Judon would be the final pieces to help them reach the playoffs, but unfortunately, things didn't pan out that way. It seems like Simmons might be on his way to a top NFC contender, which only makes Atlanta's road to the playoffs even tougher. So Falcons fans, what are your thoughts on all these changes? Are you happy to see Taquan Graham back, Or are you more worried about losing Eddie Goldman? How significant is Drew Dalman's departure, and what do you think the Falcons should do to fill that gap? Lastly, do you believe Atlanta should have made more efforts to keep Justin Simmons? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And if you haven't done so yet, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you can stay updated on all the latest news. Go Falcons!